Yo, yo, yo! What's up, everybody? We wrapped up the daily space a little bit ago. Now we're here for the live stream. We're gonna talk about LittleBuck today. It's a runner that caught my attention this morning actually, and called in our TG a bit ago. Now it's actually picking up some steam. I want to know, maybe we found the PVE runner. But if you're early to the stream here, do me a favor, leave a comment, repost, all that good stuff. We always drop some alpha and get some cool stuff cooking here. So I'm gonna play a couple of songs here on Pandora and give the homies a chance to get here, and then we'll get into it, man. But thank you guys for joining in. It's always fun to do these and get on camera. And if you want to join the stream, hit me in the DMs. On X, I'm always checking. My handle there is Dope Sales, but I'm gonna go ahead and run a couple songs for you guys while we give some people a chance to get in here and catch up on all the alpha.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life. All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life. I'm married to this gun, that's who I made my wife. Said I die alone, I told that bitch she probably right. One thing that's for sure, not a stranger to this life. Got a safe that's full of Franklins and a shoulder full of stripes. Don't know a nigga like myself. I say self-made, meaning I design myself. County jail fade, you can pull my foul yourself. Spy raid, swallow rocks, I'm getting high myself. Nah, damn right, I like the life I built. I'm from West Side 60, shit, I might got killed. Standing so tall, they think I might got stilts. Legendary baller like Mike, like Wilt. 96 Impala, thug life on wheels. Up against the wall, squabble at Fox Hills. Like a motherfucking boss, ask me how I feel. Successful street nigga touching them first meals. All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life. All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life. I got everything I said I was gonna get on my kid. In addition to that fact, I went legit. I'm the shit now, according to the way that I'm positioned. In this biz, it look like I'm just gonna keep on getting rich. Know them West Side RSCs is us. LAPD on my dick, I'ma squeeze and bust. If a rap nigga diss, switch cheese and bust. All this rap money, nigga, look, I need too much. Money, loyalty, and love, in the dream we trust. You'll be switching up the players on your team too much. Tiny copy, that's my low, Young Supreme, what's up? And we travel around the world getting cream or what? Ain't you get off on whoever hustles seem to brush? Las Vegas strip hop, yeah, you creamed the punks. After all that looking tough, all he seen was stunts. 50 Cent and Mayweather flee the scene with us. True story. All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life. All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life.
What's good, EAC? What's good, Tempo? We're gonna let one more song roll. Let a few more homies get in here. Then we're gonna talk a little bit about LittleBuck.
You don't know who's swimming naked till the time come in. Fuck where your hoes at, or where your roads at, where your backbone, nigga, where your code at, where your down since day one real bros at, where them stories that you telling unfold at, where your heart, nigga, where your soul at. We got old school ways we expose that. Ain't no guarantees, but you know that. Niggas die every day, can't control that. Ken Griffey throwback, nigga had to go left. Must've popped 28 times cause it's 4 left. If it's about mine, ain't a nigga that I won't check. Run through your hardest homeboy, you could go next. 85 cut dog, hustle at the Rolex. Chain on my white tee, now you see the progress. Stacked every chip on myself, time to collect. All money in, just imagine what I gross back. Fuck where your hoes at, or where your roads at. Where your backbone, nigga, where your code at? Where your down since day one real bros at? Where them stories that you telling unfold at? Where your heart, nigga? Where your soul at? We got old school ways, we expose that. Ain't no guarantees, but you know that. Niggas die every day, can't control that. That's why I call my thing the marathon, because I'm not gonna lie and portray this ultimate poise like I've had it figured out. Nah, I just didn't quit. That's the only distinguishing quality from me and probably whoever else going through this or went through this or is gonna go through this, is that I ain't quit. I went through every emotion. I went through every emotion with trying to pursue what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I think that what gonna separate whoever's gonna try to go for something is that you ain't gonna quit. Unless, you're gonna really take the stance if I'm gonna die behind what I'm getting at right now. Fuck where your hoes at, or where your roads at, where your backbone, nigga, where your code at, where your down since day one real bros at, where them stories that you telling unfold at, where your heart, nigga, where your soul at. We got old school ways, we expose that. Ain't no guarantees, but you know that. Niggas die every day, can't control that. I think that our reaction to being disrespected, we have to reassess how we react. You know what I mean? I think that we've been known as hip hop to make songs, and that's a part of it. And then we gotta go a step further, because I think that it's like a disease in our body. Once you start giving it a treatment, it'll get immune to the treatment, and you gotta try something else to kill that disease. So I think protest music is important. I think that YG was a genius. Fuck where your hoes at, or where your roads at, where your backbone, nigga, where your code at, where your down since day one real bros at, where them stories that you telling unfold at, where your heart, nigga, where your soul at. We got old school ways, we expose that. Ain't no guarantees, but you know that. Niggas die every day, you can't control that.
What's good? What's good, everybody? We're back. We're about to get it kicking. There were two Timbos in here for a minute. I didn't know what was going on, but good to see everybody. I love doing these live streams, man. We'll probably have a few more homies coming on and joining. I saw that Bullish Vibes reposted the space. Thank you to or reposted the stream. Thank you to Bullish Vibes for reposting the stream. All we ask, guys, just repost these for us. Send a like, send a comment, whatever it is, because we show up and we try to drop some value. And these guys, the two that are on here right now, Timbo and EAC, they always bring the value, and there's some crushers in the space. But yeah, guys, we do this every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern. We get on here for usually about 2 hours. Today might be a little bit shorter because I got some stuff going on. My kids start school tomorrow, so I gotta make sure we're ready to go with that. But today, we're usually here for 2 hours, and we get into different alpha in the space. Sometimes we're on here and we're just, let's chill. Let's hear every project we can. Other times we come on here and it's like, hey, let's dig into some of the news. Sometimes let's dig into some of the runners. Sometimes we get on here and live trade. Sometimes we play poker on some decentralized apps. So we do it all here. But today I want to talk about LittleBuck a little bit and get into it. And I'll give some of the details of the stories, but it's giving me some peanut type vibes. So I called it in our TG a little bit ago. It's already cooking. So now I wanted to get on here and talk about it a little bit. But man, the feds, they just be showing up and killing innocent things. But it happens in crypto too. Before we talk about LittleBuck particularly and get into the specifics of the story, I want to check in with the guys we got on here, and let me check and see who else might be trying to get up here, and give a call homies a few more minutes to show up. But we'll talk about LittleBuck and really get into it. But before we talk about that, I want to check in with EAC and Timbo. You guys have seen a lot of stuff go down in the space, and we just see sometimes like the whales show up in the space, or sometimes we see the KOLs show up in the space, or sometimes it's just the community. But as we're checking in and saying what's up, seeing everybody's doing this afternoon, I'm curious, what is something in the space that just got put down ruthlessly, whether it was by like the KOLs, the community, or just whales in a project that you're like, man, this one had potential, but they ruthlessly put it down. That's what happened to LittleBuck today. And we'll talk more about it. But let me throw it to my homie EAC. He was here first. EAC, how you doing this afternoon? And man, what have you seen be ruthlessly put down in Web3 that you're just like, man, why'd they do that?
Oh, I gotta go. What's being ruthlessly put down in Web3? It's my purple pole, and it's rising though. Like 550 Ethereum right now. So yeah, pole's next. So it's time for the purple pole to rise. But
well, who's putting down the purple pole? Who's putting down your purple pole?
Like I get flooded from every space I go into because there's not a lot of there's a poll space every Monday, and it's consistent, but the crypto spaces aren't Polygon. They're the active, the really big ones that are the everyday ones. They're Solana, and so I take a lot of flack for pushing P, but I'm not going to stop.
Hey, well, I don't like it, not one bit. I don't like them putting down P. I may not hold a bunch of P myself, but I don't think it needs to be put down. I think there's a place for it, and to be real, I throw a lot of shade at Polygon, and kind of a lot of it's in jest, to be real. But the one thing I always said about Polygon, to where it was a more valuable layer 2 than most of the other layer 2s, is that it's actually a side chain and not necessarily an L2. So like it is set up, if need be, to not necessarily depend on Ethereum and kind of be its own thing. So that is one reason why I'm like, hey, you can't put P down. I might not be playing on P right now because there's not a lot of price action, but don't put the P down.
Well, that too, and it's decentralized, so it's not like Coinbase or it's not like the other one I can't think of, the Pudgy Penguin one.
Well, AVAX maybe.
Yeah, no, like the I can't think of it. It'll come to me in a second here.
Oh,
but that, or even like like the new one, like Ape. It's kind of, why did they launch Ape? Just because they have their own token and it's cheap and it's pushing Ape projects, and it was launched for the DAO. I'm not trying to FUD it, but just launching your own blockchain just because, to be a centralized blockchain so you can control it, is kind of bearish. If there's already a chain out there that has the solutions like Polygon, cheap, low gas, Ethereum, that's fast, like just all come to one place and it's be decentralized. I'm pushing decentralization for sure.
Oh, I'm bullish on decentralization, but what's funny, and it's probably a whole different discussion, but one thing I think is truly gonna happen is like the final boss for all meme coins is really gonna be your own blockchain, because like Doge, it was originally its own blockchain, right? The OG of OGs. Shiba, they reached so much on Ethereum to like the final pitch is just like, yeah, we're our own blockchain. We had to become our own blockchain. So like I'm bullish and bearish. I think memes will, when they start doing that, they'll offer quote unquote decentralized blockchains. But I'm bearish on a lot of people having blockchains. It's almost like, a lot of people don't need to run crypto projects, right? Other people should probably support another project and try to help build it instead.
Yeah, like the one I was looking for, abstract. Like definitely shout out to you know Luca Nets for doing things like with Pudgy Penguins, but it's kind of like what it's just a centralized, like he controls kind of abstract. And I think like then when you have centralized, like he picks and choose what he likes and wants on it, and it's only to really benefit like Pudgy Penguins, where it should be kind of like, I believe in decentralization where the market kind of chooses. So, and like even with what Coinbase is doing, making it so all their memes show up right on their exchange where you can buy like only base, but like it should be like whether it shouldn't matter what chain the memes launched on, that it should just be like a marketplace where they all kind of come together, where normies can just go look and buy whatever, whether it's on BTC, Ape, or like AVAX, Cardano, what um, you know, all of them, just one place. And that's why I'm pushing the ag layer. So it's going to be a couple of years, but I think that's more of a like bullish mindset to just all blockchains. Like you can still have your own. I think you're right. Like you can still have like companies are going to launch their own blockchains for whatever reason, so they can have centralized control over it, which is like fine. That's how the world works. Like we live in a centralized world where it's a capitalism, right? And but just to have like a decentralized kind of area um, where everyone can kind of just connect. And that's why like I'm always pushing the ag layer.
No, a lot of that makes sense, and I agree with most of what you're saying. But no, good stuff, man. Let's check in with the other homies here real quick. Let's throw it over to DTN. What's going on, bro? How are you doing? And what have you seen in Web3 that's just been ruthlessly put down? And you're like, why'd they do that?
Honestly, I seen a lot of my subscribers. First of all, good morning, good afternoon, Web3 friends. Um, bro, I seen a lot of my subscribers bullish on Swift, sheep with hat, and they just literally rugged it this morning from 30 something million to like six. It's one of the things that just happens too often in the space. We see it too many times, and honestly, it makes the trenches what it is. I feel like once you get your hands burned, it makes it a little bit easier to understand and see in the space. But it can happen to the best of us. Like, honestly, and that coin's a valid point and goes to show that, even some random coins, some random token that people think are organic or runners, out of nowhere, somebody hits the button and it's just, there goes that dream and vision.
No, that's super true, man. And I guess that's the gift and the curse of decentralization is like anybody can be early in a lot of cases, but the thing is, if you get the wrong group a little bit early, it's just everything is wrecked from from there on out. So there have been a lot of those that have come through.
Yeah, man. It's just, it comes with whenever you see uh somewhat easy money to get money, or just an abundance of money. You're all, like I say it all the time, bro. You're gonna have scammers. You're gonna have people that slap gold tickers on a coin. People that throw thousands of boost on a coin, and then a week later they rug it. That's just that's the pitfalls of the space, unfortunately. So when you find builders and founders that aren't like that, and seem to have a distaste for cheeseburgers and a taste for steak, that's when you kind of dig your heels in and lock arms with them people and kind of keep marching forward every day. I think that's where the real growth and money's at in the space.
I agree, and I'd say probably like 75% of the time is founders, but then a lot of times it's not even, not gonna say a whole lot, but like 25% of the time it's communities. Like there's communities that
Facts.
they sell every pump, and it's like, well, how are you the founder supposed to pump it if you guys aren't at least diamond handing the certain levels?
No, you're absolutely right, man. There's a lot of people, or a lot of, you'll hear a lot of devs or teams blame stuff on snipers because it's an easy avenue to escape the public spectacle of you getting beat to death in the middle of the street for rugging a token. But Some of these like some of that, I know groups of people that literally that's all they do. If they don't get entry under 10K, they're not even looking at the token, and they're in some of the biggest names out there. It just matters if you have good intentions or bad intentions with that money. If you're going to nuke it, if you're going to play it respectfully, it just depends on the person at the end of the day, I feel like, too.
No, I'm with that, and a lot of it too is that's part of being a good dev too, right? Like, I think if you're gonna launch something these days, you gotta have like your community of people that are gonna be radical supporters from day one, and then you gotta you gotta know how to launch something correctly and not have the chart just abused, right? And there's multiple ways you can go about it. And, I think, and I didn't bring this up just to low key show you, but I do think on your project you've done a good job of doing that with MKU 3000, just because it's one of those things where you've done all three of those things right, in my opinion. You guys had your group of radical supporters that, like, you knew that you could go to this idea with, that was gonna be behind it and make it something that they're willing to get out and just shout about at the top of their lungs. Then you guys actually knew how to bring it into fruition on a way to not get screwed by whales, by going and finding an old ticker that didn't have any holders on it or next to no holders on it. And then three, you guys have just been slowly accumulating. Of course, a few bad actors have made their way in, but boom, they got shook out early. And then you guys just have reaccumulated and stuff. So I do want to throw some props your way on that one, because I do think you guys have done a good job of that with your particular project. And that is one thing I like to look for in projects when they're coming out. Like, all right, how well did the dev actually plan this out? Is it some dude that came out by himself and he just launched this because he saw someone pump.fun and now he's in the space or on the stream trying to shill it, and he's never done this before? Or are they actually been around the space and know what it takes to really get something going the right way?
I wanted to add to that too, because it's like why I'm bullish on it as well is because it is on Pump Fund, and it's kind of like Pump Fund is free advertising. So as your MKU3 goes up, and I know it will because it's different than all the rest of those Pump Fund tokens. It'll show up on the app, and it's bullish long term for a long term success project that made it, because like 98% of Pump Fund tokens don't make it, and I'm confident that MKU3 will definitely be one of the ones that make it. And even if you add streaming to the secret society that you get into if you own 5 million, stuff, and it's just a narrative too that doesn't really expire. That's, I'm bullish on it, bro.
Heck yeah. I don't know what to say to that other than, man, when we first grabbed that, sorry, I'm driving. When we first CTO'd it and took hold of it, it was really much like MK, man. It was an experiment. And even now, because, everything in the trenches is a gamble, but hopefully we've gathered the right individuals, for the floor, and I think we have. But like you said, the narrative doesn't expire. When we found it, I kind of wondered why the team gave up on it. The art, potentials and everything. But not just that. There's so many people that break their back in the space to bond tokens and to hit that 100K market cap. The night that we bonded, we were not trying to. We were not public. We literally bonded organically in the middle of the night. We weren't raiding nothing. It was just pure organic, people seeing it, buying in. And the same's to be said with our 117K all-time high that we're going to absolutely obliterate. But like that, to me, that was the craziest part and the most eye-opening part about MKU and the trenches, is that you can't always plan for everything. I didn't plan for that token to get bonded like that until I was ready. And God makes plans, men make plans, and God laughs. That's the saying, right? So the trenches just keep showing themselves to be true in the fact that anything goes and anything is possible. And there's not one blanket rule to accompany every token, I feel like, or every situation. Everything's different.
No, that's super true, man. And that's just how the space works. And like, sometimes just something it just has all the right stuff to make it tick, and they didn't do anything right. But and then sometimes you're trying to do it slow like you're doing, and people just like they see it, right, because we're decentralized. You can't hide anything, and then they jump in and just change your plans up a little bit.
Definitely, bro. Literally, I watched it happen when we were bonding because I had 2 subscribers in my living room, and we were doing a standing session live, and with the subscribers, and somebody kept slapping the chart with $1,200 and then selling $1,100. And the third time they did it, a bunch of organic volume just came in and pushed us to like 80K. It was really crazy to watch, but yeah, man, there really that showed me everything I needed to see when it comes to like the coin and narrative. Because if before, when like we worked on it in May, we were still a quote unquote a powerhouse of a community, but I feel like we've grown by leaps and bounds since May, and I really can't wait to unleash the new friends and tools that we have at our disposal now. And I just see great things coming in the future, man. Honestly, I really do. And to have the people that I do have involved, bro, I wake up to more bullish shit every day. Everybody's like, when are we doing this? When are we doing? Like, people are excited, dude. And making the trenches fun again has always been like the motto of DTN. And I like so many people come in with sob stories, or they're sad, or blah blah blah. Bro, come to DTN and you're not gonna have these stories. If you do, it'll be like a minute occurrence. It doesn't happen often. It's because somebody clicked the wrong shit. It's not because they're out here getting rugged on tokens anymore. They know how to move. We teach people how to maneuver, and we operate as one, bro. And it's simple, really. Like you said the other day on the Twitter, bro, like on X, you said, I see a ticker, I ape a ticker, I sell a ticker for profit. It's not fucking hard, bro. It's rudimentary.
Bro, ETH hit all-time high, 6. So the poly market, one on poly market with ETH hitting all-time high just now.
Dang, I didn't know Ethereum was at all time high. Well, that's the start of something bullish, in my opinion. We haven't seen Ethereum at an all time high all bull run. I'm getting the chart up right now. I gotta verify this with my own eyes. But yeah, that'd be super bullish. Yeah, ETH is pumping. Is it all time high? I don't think that's all time high, is it? 4,500, 4,600.
Like, I got my chart open in Coinbase, and it said, like, I got it on all, and the 4,617.27 is what I see. And then
It is all time high. My bad.
Eric Trump told y'all it was buying season about a month and a half ago, and everybody ridiculed him publicly because Ethereum went to an all-time low, or went to a super low cap right around that time. And then now look at all them people. I bet they feel dumb for fudding that man.
I mean, he was right. I mean, if you bought any time since he said so, you're in profits now. But yeah, this is interesting. If we can get some all time highs across the board from some other coins too, this gets kind of strong here. Especially with Bitcoin still running, we could get that extended bull run people are talking about.
maybe I'm wrong because I'm checking on ChatGPT and it said no, but
I checked on TradingView, and if it wasn't all time high, we were within a couple dollars of it. I just looked real quick on my phone at the TradingView chart and scrolled back on the monthly. But yeah, we're I think we're pretty much there at all time high. It's probably right. ChatGPT is probably just a little behind. But dude, that's crazy to happen on stream. Clutch, you around? What do you think about that, Clutch? Ethereum all time high. What? Clutch is probably just here hanging.
Empanada. He's eating an empanada.
He's in a sopa. I'm telling you, guys gotta get on those sopas when it comes to Mexican food. I don't know what it is necessarily. I know it's like a quesadilla, but better. It was fire when I had it. But and thank you to Matrix Mode for reposting on X. We truly appreciate it. All the eyes, we like to get out. We like to talk about some good stuff. We like to shine on some good people, shine some light on some good people, all that good stuff. I want to talk about this LittleBuck, man. I think we probably won't run a real long one today, and I want to make sure we get in some time talking about LittleBuck. But in case you guys don't know the story, here's what happened. So there was this blind baby deer that it just stayed on this family's property because they would take care of it, and it wasn't fenced in. It could leave whenever it wanted, but obviously it never left because it's just a blind deer. It can't see anything, and it just knows probably at this area there's always going to be food for it. Well, they got an anonymous tip. The wildlife department did that this family was keeping an illegal four-legged animal on their property. And what they did is they came to the property and they shot it. Apparently they shot it with a dart, and then they had to shoot it again because the dart didn't put it down or something like that. But the name of it is LittleBuck, or was like LittleBuck. We got in the title here, and there's a token called LittleBuck that's sending. But like this has some Peanut vibes written all over it. For those of you that might not remember, is back. What's it, probably been 4 or 5 months now, but there were these people that had a pet squirrel named Peanut, and there's the same group, the Fish and Wildlife or whatever it is. They came and they killed these people's squirrel under the guise of euthanasia, and so like this same thing happened. The kid was crying. There's a fund GoFundMe for the family, and there's this token, and like I've been saying for a while. The trenches are yearning for a PvE, player versus environment to where everybody's got a shot. There's not a bunch of super early insiders, and it looks like this could be the one. But what do you guys think? What do you think, EAC, Timbo, Clutch, and you guys got any input of this? You think this one can run?
As soon as I get home, I will give you my analytics about it, bro. I'm at the gas station getting something for my wife real quick, and I'll be home and have my computer. But I like the narrative that we've seen in the past. Anything that Game and Wildlife comes and takes care of like that, RIP, it goes crazy. I don't know if y'all remember the baby deer. I don't know if you were saying that. I was getting out of the truck, but the baby deer in upstate New York that got killed not long ago. Probably 3-4 months back. It ran to like
You
5-6 million.
The squirrel.
No, there was a baby deer too in New York called Baby Deer or Baby, and it ran to a couple million. But yeah, the Peanut, the squirrel too.
Oh, my bad. I missed the other deer. That's crazy.
Yeah, its name was Baby or something like that. But yeah, I've seen 2 or 3 coins that have kind of fit that Peanut narrative, where like euthanasia or Game and Wildlife's associated with coming out and taking care of an animal or exotic creature, and it running or going crazy. That baby was like a baby white-tailed deer. It still had its spots on it and stuff, and they just killed it. It was a while back though. I don't know. Like I have no idea if it's still up there, but it was like at 4 or 5 million last time I seen it.
My bad. I was trying to pull up the chart and I accidentally pulled over the StreamYard on my computer, and I thought I was gonna exit us out or close the stream on us for a second. But yeah, I missed that one. I've got LittleBuck. Dang, I called this at like 200K in the Discord. It ran up to 1.4 million. Now we're having the big pullback. Man, if this is the runner, I'm gonna share my screen here. But if this is the runner, man, this is probably buying opportunity. And if you're listening and like you're not in this already, I'm not 100% saying this is the PvE runner. But there's dude, this is almost, so we went to 1.5, pull back to 6. There, this is the exact buying range if you're not in that I'd probably I'd probably feel comfortable firing a bullet here, even after this big come up. It makes sense that there was a lot of cells in here. Now we can dig. You guys see my screen? Yeah, you guys see my screen. We can dig into some of these recent sells here. All right, we got to go back kind of far, but let's look at the holders. Let's check out how diluted this supply is, because the narrative is good. So this guy sold a bunch, bought back in today. So this person just traded the chart here. Dude, this might be the buy range for it. I mean, it's easy for me to say this is a good range when I called it back over here. I called it right before we started the stream, so it was probably back around here or something. But this is a nice pump. It's getting in here. What do you think about this EAC, man? You think this could be a PVE runner? Oh, it's just me today, just me. But I'm gonna dig into this. I just want to see how long some of these big wallets have been holding. This one's been out for 5 days now. Let's scroll down to another one of these. It's gonna scroll down. Randomly check this. I'm just randomly checking. I just want to see how organic this feels. But like it's weird. It got a lot of attention out of nowhere today. Is the one thing about it. But the accounts on X that were given an attention weren't really crypto Twitter accounts. So that's what's kind of interesting now that I'm seeing here. Like this wallet here, it's held for 4 days, sold a tiny bit there. Yeah, who cares about that? But then yesterday, buy. So it's almost like this is almost looking like insiders knew that that this pump was going to come today for whatever reason. But who knows, right? I could be crazy and looking at this, but this might not be there to buy in. But it feels pretty PVE to me, just on the narrative alone. Let me come back to StreamYard here for a second. What's good, EAC, man? What are you thinking about this one?
Sorry, I took a call, so
You're on mute, EAC.
Out of the convo. But
so did you catch the story about LittleBuck?
No, I didn't, man. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'll give you.
Go ahead.
I'll give you a quick rundown. So what happened was this family had a baby deer that was blind on its property, and like it wasn't fenced in. The deer just never left because it was probably blind, and they were feeding it every day. It was a baby buck, and the Fish and Wildlife Administration got an anonymous tip that this family was holding an animal or whatever they weren't supposed to be holding, and they came and they euthanized it, and like the kids were crying, this and that. So it's got a lot of Peanut vibes, and this coin here, LittleBuck, was launched 5 days ago, but it's getting a lot of run today, off this one. So you think we could have a PVE runner here, or how you feel about this story?
Where was the coin launched on?
The one I'm seeing on Solana. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an Ethereum runner too.
No, like a launch pad though, or?
Oh, let me double check here. That's a good question. Let's go. Oh, it was a pump token.
Yeah, it might be a situation where, the PvP part is over, and if the right news story could send it as a PvE runner, but does it have socials and a team leader? Because it might be I don't know. It kind of kind of needs that like CTO community behind it, right? If it has no founder, if the dev rugged already.
That's a good question. So they do have socials that I'm seeing here that are tied to the page. Let me go to their website and their Twitter here. I think you guys can see this on. Can you guys see this on no, you guys still only see my my chart there. So the website is just pretty basic. It all right, let me share the website here now. I think you guys can see the website here. All right, cool. Yeah, you can see the website. Sorry, guys, I'm still getting familiar with StreamYard. But so donate to the family. Dang, the mom was jailed and is on a $1.8 million bond. That's insane. We should definitely send this ticker. They got the story up here. They got a petition, and then they had where you could buy it on pump. I can't tell when this site went up. There's nothing there. Let's go to. I'm gonna go back. Let's peep out their Twitter here. X LittleBuck. Sorry, guys. StreamYard makes my computer go super slow. Honoring LittleBuck. It was created just this month. They got 151 followers. That's kind of bearish for real for where they're pumping to. I'd like to see more followers. 2 days ago, they had the story up here. They're making some good content. I mean, if there was a rug, they probably would have rugged by now. Let's check out their community. We'll check out the community in a second, but they're getting a decent amount of views in their posts. People are probably finding their page like I am right now, though. But it looks like there's a little bit of effort going on. You firing at this one, EAC? You're not in the TG, are you?
Yeah, I haven't yet, but I'm considering it. Like I wouldn't. It's kind of. Yeah, still might be early.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this one picks up. But the run to 1.5 mil, that was a nice pump. So we'll see if they can recover this sell off here. Like I think this is a key range. If you want to secure the best price, come to this tab. But yeah, this is a key range in my opinion. If you want to secure the best price, you could fire here and have a stop loss really of 50% of your position. I feel like most meme coins when I trade, I have my stop loss at least 50% if I'm not if I'm not writing it to zero. But I'd fire here and have a stop loss 50%. It's easy for me to say though, because all right, that's the entry I called. But if you want to wait, you could wait for the breakout and wait for us to take, like 700K or something like that along those lines. Sorry, guys. I had to mute for a second. My girlfriend came in. Apparently, the shower head just flew off the shower at our at our new spot we moved into. So We got had some water spraying in the bathroom. It sounds like. But yeah, this is one that I like, man. I think it's got some potential EAC.
Yeah, man, for sure. Looks good. Thanks for sharing.
So, give us, we're probably going to hard stop this one about an hour today, is what I was planning. We're at the 45-minute mark. A lot of homies looks like are busy and might not be jumping on anyway. So, usually these easily go 2 hours. But, man, give any updates. What do you got cooking with EAC right now?
So yeah, just actively, pushing out the mint. I do daily deals. So in the Discord, so it keeps it like fun and exciting. You never know what the kind of deal is going to be on minting some EAC aliens, what kind of rewards you're going to get. But really like the markets today, like about Ethereum. And I do feel like that Polygon's next, and like EAC's paired with Pol, so that the token set to rise. The chart's looking good. So yeah, maybe we'll get back to like our all-time highs, and it's always kind of fun. So yes, other than that, like just keeping active in the Discord. We built a game. I don't know if I've ever told you about it, but we had a card game. So our NFTs, we had a bunch of collections that the NFTs were like cards, and you can connect the DApp, and it's like you can battle the cards against other cards, which are the NFTs, kind of like you would in Pokemon or Magic the Gathering. But there was just a lot of wallet connections with that game. So, and it took two people. So two people had to be online to play it. So we're looking at kind of other ways that we could maybe have like an AI bot that someone could always play against. And just because we've already built out the game, like we're just looking at maybe how can we get more people to play it, because it kind of just didn't work out for people playing it. So, but we still have it built and we still have all the collections for it. So we're looking at that, and we're always constantly like just looking at building and making money in the space to add liquidity and just keep growing. But I'm really proud that that EAC, the DAO, like is in the green and has pretty much been in the green since we started building it. And I think a lot of companies can't say that, like that they started a company and they're already in the green making money. Like a lot of them are in debt and they have that debt to pay off. And I'm proud to say that that's not EAC. So, and that's in a bear market. So, as we get into the bull, I'm even more kind of excited about what we can do and add liquidity and get eyes on the project. And I was in a Polygon space yesterday about gaming, and I met some really great like contacts for games that are on Polygon. With metaverses, and I went into their discords. They have like 200,000 people in their discord, and the games look good. Like the graphics are good. So, and I really liked what they were saying in the spaces about, the future of gaming in Web3. And, it just takes one big company to pull the trigger and everything changes. Like if GTA 6 says you can buy and sell your cars and own them on an open market, they're going to make a ton of money. And Web3, that's going to be a mass adoption event. So, I'm hoping that they do that. It's a possibility we can all kind of dream for. But I think it's only a matter of time. If they don't do it, that someone else will, whether it's, Call of Duty, like being able to take your skins into the next Call of Duty and sell them on an open market, or, it's because they already have it like pay to play, and they already have all this money going in, but they just, it doesn't transfer over from one game to another because they're centralized companies that just keep it. So, but I think that it's only a matter of time before. What I'm kind of the perfect ideal future that I have for gaming is that it's like a CS:GO. Like you can create your own kind of digital assets and guns or whatever you wanted to make, and that you could like bring
That'd
those
be
into
tight.
games.
That'd be
Yeah.
really tight.
Pardon?
Oh, I was just saying that'd be really tight if you had a game where people could create their own weapons and then
Yeah,
take
like they
them
have like
amongst
I don't know if you ever heard of it, like CS:GO, where you can create weapons and it's a game like that, or even like Roadblocks, like kids are playing, like they're making their own games, right? And then kids can play it. So I think that'd be a like really cool. Like you're just the game is to build your own assets and games, and it's kind of like meme coins, right? Like you'd be building items that might be like a meme coin. So you're the gun or whatever you built that a bunch of people might buy it, and then you make royalties off because you were the creative mind behind it. That kind of, and that's kind of a cool future for gaming that I think that would be really exciting.
No, I honestly believe that is the future of gaming. You know, the my first NFT was really like a meme coin NFT essentially, just because it was a game. It was a game in which it was called what was it called? Crypto Blades actually is what it was called. And you would buy skill coin, which was their coin, and you would use this coin to mint fighters and weapons, and then you would send your fighters to go fight monsters, and if it killed the monster, you were rewarded more skill coin. And like it was a Ponzi, you know, but like it was early in crypto gaming. Like what was the one last bull run where it was you fought the monsters and stuff that was kind of like Pokemon? It went on a big run. It was on Ethereum. It was did it slip my mind, but it was there was one big one that was out, and then this one was like the second one that really ran. And like it was just so stupid though, because there was no real game. You just sent these NFTs to go fight each other, and I'm making like $500 a day just clicking buttons for like an hour and a half. You know, just have it go fight and shit. But like it really opened my mind of like how games should be. Like, dude, I think the idea of a whole idea was like the game itself is building the weapons out and then having an ecosystem of games, and not necessarily even always weapons, right? It could be just materials for games, and then have an ecosystem of games to where all this is transferable amongst all those games. Like it'd be almost invaluable, some of the materials to gamers and stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's what I had hoped that, like, that's what got me into this space. And I saw that I kind of thought that's what they might do with the other side, and still maybe might do, that you have these plots of land that you buy and then you can harvest on the land. But what you're harvesting is actually cryptocurrency that you can swap out, so, and stuff like that. But I think the problem is like with Web3, a lot of like people take on these big tasks to build a game, and you can't really compete with the Web2 gamers who are, or like the Web2 game companies who've been dominating and building up these empires, like like EA Sports and Rockstar, developing games for so many years with billions of dollars, with teams of teams, making the real kind of top-notch games, because that's what gamers want to play, right? They want to play the best game with the best graphics, with the best gameplay for speed and all the other things. And they don't really care about the ownership part. They're doing it to have fun, but they do, like, they don't care about the blockchain part, but they do care about digital ownership, because they grind for those items, and that means something to them. Like, and they put in the work for those. So that definitely, like, tying the two together with getting money for it, and like, it being valuable to them for the time that they put into it, and just the cool experience that you get from it. So yeah.
No, dude, I see the vision, and I actually wrote down to I want to have a gaming day on here where we talk, Web3 gaming, our overall thesis is on it, and look at some real projects. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow, actually. That could even be something to talk about while I stream some poker on here. I was going to stream some poker tomorrow, but yeah, that'd be a fun episode. So we'll do that. But EAC man, I wanted to keep this one about an hour or so.
Yeah, for sure.
Give us some closing thoughts for everybody for the day.
Like I'm feeling bullish. Ethereum keeps going up, and looking forward to what trade talk tomorrow, what Clutch has to say, and what the conversation is there. And I'll see you guys on X, and in the meantime, and just thanks for putting on these. I've been really enjoying it. I hope the people that are watching, tuning in, are getting stuff out of it, and encourage everyone to join in. If you're seeing this, be part of it, and look forward to doing more of it with you. Because I love, I can't put, if I was just me here talking to myself, I don't think anyone would want to watch it. So I really appreciate, you being here to talk to, and also it's hard for me to multitask the other things that I'm doing, and host a space. So I appreciate being that you have made me a part of this, and look forward to keeping this going, bro. And I hope that people are getting stuff out of it.
Oh yeah, man. These have been fun, and it's great to have you here. And kind of how you said, right? Like I never wanted to do a live stream and just get on stream and talk to myself all for an hour or whatever it was, just because that just never seemed fun to me. Even streaming myself playing poker by myself just doesn't feel that fun to me. I'd rather just have the homies around talking about even something entirely different while I'm playing poker. But yeah, so it's great to have you, and great to have just the insights, right? I think a lot of value in this stream is how different we all are. We got Clutch, who is 100% technical analysis, always on the charts. You got me, who I know some technical analysis, but I might fool you if I talk a little bit. It might sound like I know more than I do, but I'm dialed in on the fundamental analysis, to where what's going on in the world from a macro level to a micro level is going to make everything tick. And, so we're able to bounce stuff off. Then we bring EAC, you into the picture, and it's like, yeah, you're playing on this chain that we're not even paying attention to. And I didn't even know about ag layer for real until you pointed it out to me. And that should be a big thing in crypto. But if I'm not talking about it, somebody that's in the space literally daily for 5 hours a day, most days, talking about crypto publicly, dude, there's some disconnect there. But it's good there's guys like you that we have coming to these conversations, educating our listeners that probably don't know if I don't know, so that's big to me to have you on here. And then even Timbo, that this dude might be somewhat fresh in the game, but he's a grinder that's probably in the meme coin trenches more than any of us, and has his unit built. It's just that's what they focus on. So yeah, good to have people on here, that show up and come from different backgrounds, bring different types of value. But Timbo, you around, bro? You got any closing thoughts for all the viewers?
Man, I'm always here. And yeah, bro, I've been in the background listening. I always try to give my respects and listen to brilliant minds like you and EAC talking about your stuff, bro. But man, honestly, just if you're in the trenches, if you're new to the trenches, if you don't know how crypto really works, and even myself, I'll be the first to humbly admit that really outside of the Solana blockchain, I'm a newbie, and I still am new to Solana. I've only been here 8 or 9 months. But the time ascertained in these trenches is invaluable. And if you're new to the trenches, find some people that when you listen to them on these spaces, because you can't look them in the eye, you can't go shake their hands. When you listen to them, you reverberate with some of the things they're saying. You naturally just stick with people that are like-minded and carry themselves the way that you respect. You look at them, you're like, oh shit, I like the way that dude moves. Okay, get with some people like that. Learn as much as you can, be a sponge in the space, but realize you have to filter out a lot of bullshit. There's a lot of stuff in the space that can convolute your vision to where you can't see a clear path. You have to figure out what's important, and it's not easy. When I'm looking for meme coins, I'm looking at two things: volume and metrics. That's all I'm looking at. How many holders, what's coming and going, the meta. Everything else is bullshit. There's a lot of tools in the space that can be used, blah, 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 blah. I don't care, bro. I'm aping tickers. I'm selling tickers, like Andrew said. But you narrow down what you're looking for, and really, space becomes easy to navigate. Learn that some of your friends are going to get quote unquote exploited. People are going to get hacked. That's where you find out the real from the fake, right there, bro. Um, and yeah, that's my closing thoughts. I don't know. I'm about to go on a tangent because I just smoked, but I'll leave it at that.
No, all good, man. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate the praise of you enjoying our conversations, bro. So that means a lot to me. That a guy like you that's bringing value is enjoying the value I'm trying to bring. I am. Oh, go ahead, Simbo.
I was just gonna say, bro, just not only is it like entertaining hanging out with like our friend group in the spaces, but dude, like actually you learn shit because I think we're all knowledgeable in our own, area or in our own shape, form, or fashion. But there's things that we can pick up and learn from each other that literally will make us, iron sharpens iron. It says it in the Bible. So if we all get together and learn from each other, bro, it's going to make us an unstoppable force in the space. And I can't wait to see what we become, honestly.
Dude, that's super true. Iron sharpens iron. And that's why our group drives away a lot of people. There's a lot of people that they just want to be in the we're all gonna make it, and it's like, hey, in reality, a lot of people aren't gonna make it just because they don't have what it takes to make it. They don't want to show up every day. You guys show up every day. You make it happen. Um, all that good stuff. But it's it takes a lot to really make it, and you guys both have it in you. So it's awesome to have you guys here. Thank you guys. Thank you to all the listeners. This is always a fun episode. My final thoughts are: go check out Moonit. It's a pretty cool meme platform, right? It ties the 9gag, and they don't pay me for any plugs here. I just think what they're doing is cool, but it ties the 9gag. Any meme that goes viral on 9gag, they have AI that automatically tokenizes it. There's no dev. It's a fair launch. It's not advertised, and everybody gets a fair chance at it. So this meme here was actually mine on 9gag. It's called Gamble Helpline. The guy's like, hey, is this the helpline for gamblers? And they're like, yes. And he's like, what do I do on a 16 when the dealer's showing 17? So I think it's pretty cool. Obviously, it's my meme, so I think that's cool about it. And I think it's cool they tokenized it. We've had a few people buy it. We're not pushing hard. I've been telling the homies, grab 1% if that's your thing. If you want to fire a soul or whatever at it. But if not, just fire 0.1 because I'm going to keep talking about it a little bit. I think Moonit is going to pick up steam, and I think it's got a shot. But that's my final thoughts. Go to Moonit, grab yourself some gamble. Let's gamble, baby. It's a true PVE because we're all gambling together on it. Everybody has a fair chance. I was the first buyer. My homies were the second, third, fourth, fifth buyer. So yeah, guys, check it out. I think it's a cool one. We'll be back for the stream tomorrow. We'll run a full 2 hours tomorrow. Just have to cut this one a little bit short. But thank you guys. Have a great day, everybody. Peace out.